I was repairing a coolant relay on Deck 9 when the station went silent. Not the usual silence, no alarms, no hum of engines, no distant chatter through the walls. Just a sudden, crushing stillness, like the universe had paused to take a breath. Then the lights shifted from white to violet. Every spacer knew what that meant. An alien delegation. I wiped my hands on my jumpsuit and stood slowly, heart pounding. The Keeler Dominion didn't announce themselves to human stations unless something had gone very wrong or very important. The station AI crackled to life a moment later. Attention all personnel. Please remain calm. A representative of the Keeler Dominion has requested an unscheduled audience. Requested, not demanded. That alone sent a chill down my spine. I was just a maintenance engineer. No rank, no authority, no reason for an alien empire to even know I existed. Yet my comm unit buzzed immediately after. Eli Carter, the AI said. You are requested in Docking Bay 3. Requested again. I almost laughed, convinced it was a mistake, until the bay doors opened and I saw her. She stood nearly 7 feet tall, her posture straight and composed, her skin a deep iridescent blue that caught the light like polished stone. Silver markings traced elegant patterns along her face and neck, symbols of status, if my memory of xenology wasn't failing me. Her eyes locked onto mine the moment I stepped forward. And before anyone else could speak, she said, in perfect, unaccented English, "Do you remember me, human?" The bay fell utterly silent. I swallowed. I don't believe we've met. Her gaze didn't waver. If anything, something like disappointment flickered across her features. You saved my life, she said calmly. On the border moon of Arjun 9. 6 cycles ago. My breath caught. Arjun 9. The name dragged me backward through memory, through fire, broken hull plating, and screams over open comms. I'd been part of a civilian relief crew after a pirate ambush. We pulled survivors from wreckage for 3 days straight. Most of them weren't human. I was bleeding out, the alien woman continued. My escort was dead. My people had written me off as lost. She took a single step closer. You carried me through radiation storms. You shielded me with your own body. And when the medics tried to pull you away, you told them, she's not dying today. My chest tightened. I remembered that. Not her face, but the weight of her, the way her blood glowed faintly against my arms, the sound of her breathing slowing as I ran. I was just doing my job, I said quietly. Her lips curved, not quite a smile. That, she replied, is why your species is dangerous. Murmurs rippled through the watching humans and Keeler guards alike. She raised a hand, silencing them instantly. I am Virelia Tashkan, she announced. Strategist of the Keeler Dominion. 3rd seat of the High Conclave. Every Keeler in the bay bowed. My knees nearly gave out. A High Conclave member, one of the rulers of the most powerful non-human empire in the sector, had been bleeding to death in my arms, and I hadn't even known her name. You remembered mine, I said, stunned. She inclined her head slightly. I made certain of it. The meeting room was sealed off moments later, leaving just the 2 of us and a single station liaison. Virelia stood by the viewport, watching the stars drift past. When I returned home, she said, I told my people about you, about the human who did not hesitate, who did not ask what I was, only whether I was alive. I shifted uncomfortably. A lot of humans would have done the same. She turned, eyes sharp. No. Many would not. She stepped closer, lowering her voice. My people value strength, efficiency, survival. Yours values defiance in the face of hopelessness. She studied me like a puzzle she'd been working on for years. 6 cycles later, she continued, The Dominion stands at a crossroads. War looms. Alliances fracture. And the conclave debates whether humanity is a liability or an ally. I frowned. And where do I come into that? Her gaze softened, just slightly. You are proof, she said. Proof that humans do not abandon the weak, even when there is no benefit. The liaison cleared his throat nervously. Strategist Virilia, are you saying? I am saying, she interrupted, that the future of our relations may hinge on a single truth. She looked back at me. That when faced with the choice to save a stranger, humanity chose compassion. I didn't know what to say to that. Virilia straightened, her composure returning fully. I have come to formally recognize a life debt, she declared. By Keeler law, I owe you protection, counsel, and loyalty. The liaison's jaw dropped. I don't need, I began. She raised a finger. This is not for you alone. She stepped beside me, placing a hand over her chest. This is for your species. The station lights returned to normal moments later, and the delegation prepared to depart. Before leaving, Virilia paused in front of me one last time. You did not remember my face, she said, but you remembered to care. She leaned in slightly. My people will not forget that. As her ship vanished into hyperspace, I stood there, still wearing a grease-stained jumpsuit, still just a maintenance engineer. But somewhere out there, an alien empire now knew something vital about humanity. That even in the darkest corners of space, we choose to save each other. And sometimes, that's enough to change the fate of the galaxy. As the Keeler vessel vanished into hyperspace, the station slowly returned to its usual noise, engines humming, voices rising, life continuing as if history hadn't just shifted. I stood alone by the viewport long after everyone else left. I hadn't asked for recognition. I hadn't wanted power, influence, or a place in galactic politics. I had only carried a wounded stranger because leaving her behind felt wrong. And yet, that single choice had echoed across 6 years and 1,000 star systems. Later that night, a secure transmission arrived, encrypted at a level I'd never seen before. It was short. No ceremony. No threats. Just a single line from strategist Virilia of the Keeler Dominion. When the vote is cast, humanity will not stand alone. I leaned back in my chair, staring at the message until it faded. Out there, beyond the stars, empires measured strength in fleets and firepower. They calculated worth in conquest and survival. But today, one of the oldest alien civilizations had learned something else. That humans don't save lives because it benefits us. We do it because someone has to. And in a universe that had forgotten mercy, that simple truth was more powerful than any weapon. Because when the galaxy asked who humanity was, the answer was already written. In blood, in courage, and in the memory of an alien woman who never forgot the human who refused to let her die.